Ladies and gentlemen, last and certainly not least, please make silence for our best man, Brown.
He's their best man, but he didn't trust me with the rings, did he? So, staged by a 10-year-old. Right, before we start, can I just say, for health and safety reasons, no standing on chairs at the end during my standing ovation. For those who don't know me, I'm Andy, or Brow as most people know me. Don't ask because that's a long story. Firstly, I've got to say how absolutely stunning cars looking today. I think you'll all agree that Richie's done really well there. I mean, he's no Brad Pitt. I mean, looks more like an armpit. Now, I hope you're all sitting comfy because this speech does last about 15 minutes long. And to be honest, that was the maximum amount of time I was allowed. Because to save a bit of money, Richie got a same-day shoot hire deal from Moss Bros, and he's got to be back in 2 hours. So, because we all know he can be a bit of a minge bag. The only reason he got double glazing is so the kids couldn't hear the ice cream van. Did everyone eat the meal? Yeah, I hope so, because you can expect an invoice off Richie for anything he didn't eat. Knowing how much weddings cost these days, I think Richie might be regretting the pledge he made to me over 10 years ago. And it was when he seen Carla walking past the window in the village for the first time. And I still remember to this day what he said and how he said it. Basically he went like this. Look at her there! Oh, I'm going to marry that! Fair play to him, he did. So. Right, before I tell some short stories, I want to pay tribute to an absolutely top lad, boss lad, you know. And I've had to write this down to make sure I don't miss anything, so, because it's written from the heart. So, here we go. I didn't know him as a kid, so our relationship only started when we were young adults, or like big kids. I always remember him being a bit of a hothead when he was younger and getting into altercations here and there, and thought he had the potential to go off the rails. But fair play to him, he's turned his life around. He's grown up, went on to meet the love of his life. He's had a family, fully committed himself to his job, which he excels at, by the way, and barely touches the ale, which is a million miles away from the messy times of the 051. Now, it's fair to say our relationship has mainly revolved around football. Over the 17 years I've known him, we've shared so many memories together and experienced many a high. Istanbul, Barcelona, countless trips to Cardiff, the new Wembley. Some lows, Athens, Cardiff again, and the big one last year, coming that close to experiencing winning the league title together. Now sadly for me, and for us, he's decided to knock all that on the head and move on with his life and share them special moments with someone else, which I've had to accept and move on with mine. Now I'm not going to lie, it's going to be difficult. It's very hard to take to be playing second fiddle to someone else, considering I've known him for half my living life. Heavy stuff that now, okay. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'd like to join me in a toast to this lad and raise your glasses to the one, the only, the legend that is, Mr. Steven Gerrard. Now, obviously Stephen can't be with us today because he now lives in LA. Now, a lot of you will have heard his reasons for leaving Liverpool, but I can exclusively reveal he did not leave Liverpool for footballing reasons. No, and I have the proof. This is a telephone recording of a conversation I had with Stephen back in January. Hi, who's that?
Steven Gerrard.
Hi Stephen, it's Brown, Richie's mate.
What are you after?
I just got to give you a bell, see if you're looking forward to Richie and Carla's wedding.
Yeah, really looking forward to it.
Think it'll last?
I'm probably a lot more optimistic than most.
Yeah. I'm surprised they chose you to be best man, like.
They surprised me, I think they surprised a lot of people.
How did you feeling yesterday?
Yeah, a bit strange, you know, I'm not going to lie. It's been an emotional 24 hours for myself and my family.
You must have been flattered that they asked you though.
obviously very flattering. I mean, he's a big hero, man.
You must have felt very proud.
It's brilliant, especially for, you know, my dad and my brother and stuff.
Whoa. I think the invite was just for you, you know. See how much he's paying it, Ed? You'll have a fit, you start inviting all sorts. Oh, another thing. I've got a bit of bad news for you, Stevie. I'm afraid when he asked you to be his best man, he'd broken his 4-bottle rule and had drank 5 bottles of Copperberg. I know what he's like after a few drinks. So he's actually told me to let you know that you're no longer best man. Sorry, mate. How do you feel?
Very frustrated and upset.
Man, you didn't last the 24 hours. Did you expect it to end so soon?
I always knew it was going to end one day and it was going to be an emotional decision. Decision was here. People have their own opinions on it, but for me, I think come the summer it'll be the right time.
You're going to cry?
There'll be plenty of time for tears and sentiment.
So he's actually asked me to be his best man. I'm not sure what your thoughts are on that.
I'm fine with that. You seem a nice lad, you seem honest and reliable.
But is it the right decision?
Right enough to realise it is the right thing for everyone. But no, you know, life goes on, it's normal.
Hopefully you're still going to come to the wedding though. Can't swear off that.
I've always tried to be respectful, you know, to other people.
Yeah, so at least come to the wedding then.
You know, I wouldn't like to come back just to be Steven Gerrard, the player, and to be around. I'd like to help in whatever capacity that may be.
Well, one of the positions I've taken now, mate. Unless you want to be an extra bridesmaid. Just come and stop being selfish.
I'm not you know, a selfish person, and it's not about me.
So what am I going to tell Richie then?
Forget about Steven Gerrard for a bit.
What about his half-fella, Dickie? What am I going to tell him?
Yeah, I'm always here for Roy. American.
I think that's the right decision. Big step.
I've took everything into consideration, and I do feel it's the right decision and at the right time.
Seems you're getting upset there, mate.
I've started getting emotional, but I need to be strong and hold them back because I'm not going yet.
So put Richie O'Connor on the phone?
No, I don't want to listen to him.
Why can't you come to the wedding before you go and at least show your face?
Because it's so tough to say goodbye.
So just get it off, just like that.
But a bit of a break, and hopefully I'll benefit from it.
It's a bit selfish that, mate. Will you not miss them?
I'm going to miss it badly.
Well, I'm recording this conversation, so if there is anything you want to say to them...
I don't know what to say.
You must have a final message for them, mate. They're going to be gutted to find out you're not going.
It's difficult to give a message really, but I'm feeling the same. It's so tough to say goodbye. But hopefully it's more of a see you soon rather than a goodbye.
Fair enough, mate. Okay. I'll speak to you soon. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
So there you have it, the real reason Steven Gerrard left Liverpool. Now there's so many stories I'd love to tell about this lad, but seeing him in the company of his kids, or tribe, or data crowd as I like to call them, I've got to keep it reasonably sensible. So I won't be telling any stories that involve piranhas, naked press-ups on the dance floor, trying to sell a full salmon to the neighbours at 4 o'clock in the morning, in the news. The time we abducted Anthony Walker and took him to Newcastle for the weekend. Or the limo crashed on the motorway that me, Kev and John were in. He wasn't. But somehow he managed to get more compensation than we did. How is your neck, by the way? Still having nightmares? Now I'm going to tell 3 quick stories, now all with the same moral, which reflect the type of person Richie is. Obviously the football related. So 2006, Liverpool versus Chelsea in Cardiff, the Charity Shield. It was me, Richie and Kev Carr. Richie was driving because he was off the ale. And we're having a few drinks outside the ground, and some lad threw a can and hit Kev on the back of the head, which resulted in Kev having a bit of a scrap, which resulted in Kev being arrested and taken to the nearest police station.
Didn't tell me that.
So after the game, which we won, and I'll be honest, all I wanted to do was get home and get on the ale. But Richie's first thoughts was to go down the police station and see how long we'd have to wait for Kev to get out. After about a 2-hour wait, Kev comes out and sees we're outside for him, absolutely made up to see we're outside. And I remember Richie saying to him, "You don't leave your mates behind, especially a red." Now, a similar incident happened in Athens. After the game, getting a flight home was an absolute nightmare. The airport couldn't cope with the amount of passengers, and they were letting anyone get on any plane, regardless of the ticket they had. They tried filtering people through these double doors to get onto the runway, and Richie got through the doors, and they closed the doors behind him, leaving me on the inside. Richie, when he noticed, he forced the doors open, pushed past the security guards, grabbed me by the scruff of the neck, dragged me through a crowd of people, meaning we got onto the runway, meaning we got to get on the same flight home together. Now the moral of that story is, you don't leave your mates behind, especially a red. Now the third time this happened, we were due to travel down for the Merseyside derby at Wembley for the semi-final of the FA Cup. It was nearly starting, Richie was driving again, and he was very clear about the pick-up times. He said, right, if you're not there, I'm not waiting around for you, so make sure you're there. So he picks 3 of us up, and we go to pick the 4th lad up. Get to his house, and he's nowhere to be seen. Richie says, right, ring him, if he's not here in 30 seconds, I'm off. So we give the lad a ring. You know, he wasn't actually ready, and there was obviously some sort of mix-up. Now, Richie basically said, right, tell him we're on the other side of the Fellwall Viaduct, I'm not turning around, he's going to have to make his own way down there. Now, my honest assessment of that situation was he was proper harsh there. It would have taken him 5 minutes to turn around, go back and pick him up, but he was having none of it, and basically left the lad stranded, and he had to make his own way down there on the train. Now the moral of this story is, you don't leave your mates behind, unless they're a blue. He's never told you. Now I think me and Richie are very similar, and we don't publicly show our affection. I mean, that was the first time I'd seen him kiss Carla before. But one thing I do know is how important Carla and his family are to him. He works his backside off to give them a good life, and the reason we're all sat here today in these fancy chairs with pretty bows on is because Richie made some big sacrifices last year to help pay for Carla's big day. While he was working away last year, he missed out on Real Madrid away in the Champions League, the live coverage of the Ryder Cup, and the Merseyside derby. Now, all the men in the room will appreciate exactly what he's missed out on there. For all you women in the room, that's like missing out on a flash sale at Selfridges, where they're selling Christian Louboutins for only a tenner. So, yeah, exactly. Right, before I finish off with a toast, I've got a bit of advice for you both. Firstly, for Kyla. If you ever want to get Richie to do something, just suggest he's probably too old to do it. And a little bit of advice for you, Richie. Remember, marriage isn't a word, it's a sentence. So that leaves me with just one more thing to do, and that is wish Richie, Carla and Dyla Crowd all the best for the future. May you be happy, healthy and successful. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and raise your glasses to the new Mr. and Mrs. Jones.